Welcome again. Today I'm going to be presenting a teaching. Maybe I'll do part 1, part 2, part 3 from my senior pastor. He's going to be laying the vision for our church. We will look at the core values we have as a ministry, our outreach program, how we want to win more souls for Jesus, how we go out and plant churches. So I advise you, get a notebook, get a pen, and you can pick some things. You know, if you are local and you're looking for a church, that is if you're in the United Kingdom, in the Northamptonshire area, you can also visit us, come be part of the church so that we can all grow in becoming what God has called us to be. So our main agenda this year is to win souls for Jesus. You know, we do it in different ways, but get a pen, get a notebook, and write some notes. Be blessed as you watch.
I want you to shout, "This is living faith." Where we are changing lives and shaping destiny. Living faith, where we are changing lives and shaping destiny. So the agenda of God is not the building as building. So when they came to build the temple, Ezra then stood up and read the book of Moses to bring people back to holiness. And to challenge people so that they leave their evil ways and begin to challenge them. The same things that caused our parents and forefathers to go into captivity, you guys are doing them even though we have come back. So he's challenging them by reading the law of Moses. Because the agenda of God is that his people will align with his ways. So how do we change lives and shape destiny? How do we do this? Number one, what do? We value God's people. If we put a value on God's people, we are going to win them. We are going to go out and bring them in because we value them. How do we do it? We nurture them when they come into the house. I want you to get ready. In a few months, in a few years, you will never be the same person that you are if you consistently come and sit under equipping. So we nurture them, we equip them, then we release them into their God-given assignment. So the core purpose is the reason why we are here. Okay? So our mission at LFIM is to bring the message of hope. Let's say bring the message of hope, to our local community and beyond. This is as simple as what God has called the church to do. We bring the message of hope to our local community and beyond. In a nutshell, go ye therefore into all the world. This is what we are saying. And Jesus says, when the Spirit of God has come upon you, you shall receive what? Power. You shall be mine. Starting from where? Your local community. From Jerusalem, Judea, to the uttermost parts of the world, right? And we are just paraphrasing that our mission is to bring hope to our local community in Jesus and beyond. As simple as that. Then the church is the called out ones that have been called to. The church is the Greek ecclesia, which means to be called out from and called to. Which means when somebody comes to church and comes to the Lord, they need to know they have been called out, but called to. So what are you called to? We are changing lives, we are shaping destiny. This is what God has called us to do. Amen? So understanding the purpose of the church helps us to outwork the mission and the value of the church. So what are our core values? So values are what supports the vision. Values support the vision. They outwork the vision. They shape the culture and reflect the organization's values. So I said values support the vision. Our vision is to bring the message of hope in Jesus, number one, to our local community and beyond. That's why we are saying we are going to Uganda, we are going to Zimbabwe, we are going to Pakistan, we are going to Cambodia, but we are springing forth from our local community. But our values undergird what we do. They support what we do. Okay? They outwork the vision. They shape the culture. So there has to be a culture in the house that's coming from our value system. And it reflects our values. They are the essence of the organization's identity, beliefs, or philosophy. Most focus on technical competence, because if I call Pastor Naomi, she'll come here and she'll tell us, when whatever we do, I want to see excellence in things that you do. Okay? I don't know whether we have the same set of eyes. When Pastor Naomi walked in, probably she is thinking, why did you put these things there? Because of excellence. She doesn't want to see these things there. And she could have sent someone to say, get those things and put them somewhere else. Okay? Because of, we want to do things excellently. Yeah? When Pastor Nigel brings the pulpit there, is it in alignment? Excellently. When you do a presentation, are you doing it excellently? Okay? Those are some of the things. So those are technical competencies. But let's not forget the underlying factors that make the organization run smoothly. So establishing robust core values strengthen both internal and external advantages. Do you know when you have a value system, you have advantages that you are bringing in, external and internal? Let me quickly move to those values that we espouse. Number one, you always hear when we come, number one is the right value on people. Everyone in the church needs to know that we value people according to the value that God has placed on them, not according to our standards. So we value God's people. So we need to place the right value on God's people, because everybody is valuable in the sight of God. Nobody should be valued on the basis of what they do in church, but they should be valued because of the person they are in the eyes of God. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. When you do something, we value you for what you are doing, but our value system is based on the value that God has put on individual people. Before we knew about what you can do, we had already placed value on you. Then you begin to do what you do because you know what God has called you to do, but your value is not coming from what you do. Your value is coming from the fact that Christ died for you. Even if you were the only one, he could have died for you. You are valuable. So if the whole church and those that minister in church know that the people of God are valuable, we'll treat them well. Okay? We seek to understand everyone as a person that God loves and has made part of his family. So I said, number one, it's the right value on people. Talk to your neighbor and say, I value you. Have you ever been in a place where you suggest something and you are like, just some air that just blew past, nobody listens to you? You need to know that you are valued for you to function well. Number two, we value relationship over structure. In this ministry, your pastors value relationship more than the hierarchical order in the church. If somebody walks into this church, they might not even know that this is the prophet of the house. Yeah? Because you will see him standing by the door. Because what we value is relationship, not the hierarchical order. They might not even know who is the administrator, who is the prophet, who is the pastor, who is the pastor's wife. It's not important. It's relationship. We are a family. And help us to remind us that we are a family. Okay? Because I know that in families, not everybody behaves the same, but we value each other because we are family. So we value relationship over structure. Number three, we value servant leadership. Servant leadership. We lead by serving. In fact, we don't ordain you a deacon until we see you deaconing. We want to see you serve before you become. A person is only qualified to live to the degree they are willing to serve. If they are not willing to serve, they are not a leader. We are not looking for bosses in the house of God. We are looking for people that can serve. We are not looking for people that are looking for someone to give them a cup of tea. We are looking for people that can brew the tea and give people tea. We are not looking for people that want to be served. I know that we have come from different places where the elders of the church, they are the ones that are being served. Here, the elders of the church serve. They serve. The motivation to every ministry within the local church should be based on the principle of servanthood. Okay? We also want to see complementary partnerships. As a body, we are called and put together by God to complement and not to compete. So if anybody is doing something better than me, we encourage them. If Pastor Nigel preaches a powerful sermon, I encourage him. Man of God, that was powerful. I was blessed. We are not competing, but we are complementing. Okay? If your sister does better than you, encourage them. Don't bring them down so that you are elevated because you have brought them down. So we endeavor to appreciate and respect and promote each other's giftings and callings. Matthew chapter 23, verse 11, the greatest among you shall be your servant. Whosoever exalts himself will be humbled. Whosoever humbles himself will be exalted. Is that okay? All right. Okay, character over gifting. We put a premium on your character more than your gift in this house. So, thank God for the gift, but the character is more important. Thank you for your gift. So, we put a premium on character more than your gift. We love your gift. God gave us gifts, but character is your responsibility. It is easy to climb up there by character and fall in an instant because your character has failed you. So godly character is preferred above gifting and charisma. We believe the responsibility of carrying a gift should be balanced with sufficient strength of character. No character, no impact, and no influence. So the work of us as leadership, I told you that in this house, we are raising leaders, not followers. We are raising leaders. We are an apostolic house, and apostles raise apostles. Okay? We are an apostolic house, and we believe in creating an empowering environment. Individuals to realize and fully walk in their giftings. We believe the role of leadership is not to stifle individual growth, but provide a conducive environment for growth. So if you are a leader in a department, a leader in a ministry, our assignment is to raise those that we are leading to be like us and better than us. So create an empowering environment. One of our core values also is responsibility and accountability. We need to be accountable. We need to be responsible. We believe in mutual responsibly and accountability. Every person must be accountable for their actions in every respect. No one should accept responsibility if they can't wish to be accountable. Don't accept a responsibility if you don't want to be asked how you did things, why you did them that way, why you did not do it according to the time that you have been expected to do. It's called responsibility and accountability. Number 8, reconciliation over being right. This one is very big. We are not looking for people that are right. We are looking for people that can build relationships. Because you can win an argument and lose a relationship. So we want people that espouse reconciliation more than being right. Reconciliation is more of God's heart than being right in all things. We prefer to be reconciled one to another than apportioning blame when things don't work out according to expectations. So if the ushering department, something goes wrong, I don't want to know who did wrong, right? I want to know how you're going to fix it without apportioning the blame on anyone. If anything is going wrong in the praise team, I want to see things going right. I want to see reconciliation taking place. Because it is God's heart for people to be reconciled than you being right. You would rather lose an argument and win a sister or win a brother. Do you know there are some people that will never give in that they are wrong? Give it to them so that you can win them. Otherwise, you'll be arguing the whole day. Do you know some people like that in church? Yeah, he's the only true one, yeah? He says you're talking about me because most of us are like that. There's only one person that I know in this church who is not like that. And I'm being honest. There is only one person in this church who is not like the one that always wants to be right. Jesus. And I know you wanted to know which one is that one. Jesus, although he was right, he pursued us that were wrong and hard-hearted in order to win us. He is our perfect example if we want to walk in the right relationship. Philippians chapter 4. Therefore, my brothers, whom I love and long for, my joy and crown, that is how you must stand firm in the Lord. Help these two sisters, Yodia and Syntyche, to agree in the Lord. Help these two sisters. I don't know why he's talking about sisters, because usually sisters don't agree, right? Syntyche and Yodia to agree in the Lord. Yes, and I ask you, my true yoke fellow, to help these women who have labored with me for the gospel. You see, they have labored, but they are not in agreement. Let's go to stewardship and ownership. So for our friends that have come, I want you to own the vision. Own the vision. As believers, we are joint heirs with Jesus. Therefore, we shall give an account on how we administer the estate entrusted to us. The estate includes your gifts, includes your finances, includes the people, includes the relationships, and even the church. God gave you all these things as a steward. You need to own them. Okay? As co-owners with God, we should be faithful stewards according to God's purpose. How are you using the gifts that God has given you as a steward? Because even when people come to church, they can be people that use people in church. People that see customers when people come to church. You need to be careful when you go to church. Seeing business opportunities when you see all these people, when people have come to the house of God. And we are going to give an account of our stewardship. Did we encourage people? How did we use the finances that God gave us? The gifts that God gave us? The abilities that God gave us? The people that God gave us? The relationships that God gave us? There are people that abuse relationships. They are just in there in the relationship to get from people and not to edify anyone. I want you to know, I don't want you to be spooky and be checking out people, but I want you to know that in church there can be people that abuse relationships. They are just your friend because of what they can get from you. Oh, Lord, help me. Am I saying the right thing? We are talking about stewardship and ownership. And you shall give an account. Let me leave this one because it's very sensitive. Remember, we said the mission or the vision for living faith coming from Matthew 28, where Jesus commands us to go into all the world. And when the Holy Spirit came in the book of Acts, they received power to be witnesses, starting from Jerusalem. And then we say our mission is bringing hope in Jesus, starting with our local community and beyond. So we believe God's vision is a global vision, and so is our vision. I want you to say our vision is a global vision. And God's vision is a global vision. So we shall use every available tool to reach the world for Christ until all families are blessed. We are going to have to do our part, because it's not only Living Faith doing that, but many are doing that. We are not only the only church that's doing that, but many are doing. The global vision is its expression through the local church. So we express the global vision through the local church. Therefore, our congregation takes priority over all other national and international ministry. Because the global vision is pushed through the local church, which means the local church is very important. It becomes the springboard from which global mission comes from. So you are important as a local church. And we need to make sure that the local church has priority. Let me just take a little break and give Pastor Nigel to come and just speak to us within the next 40 or so minutes and just encourage us. Then I'll come back.